Okay, get a cup of tea ready because we got a big box. We've got a big box of books from our friends at Bitmap Books, and we're going to take you through them because I haven't done a Bitmap Books review for a little while, and they have been producing a fair few quality books. So I'm just going to take you through them. What we're going to do is do it one at a time, and we'll take you through each book, and it'll be a first reaction. So as you can see, I'm literally taking these out one by one. Really excited. It's Sunday morning, and yeah, whoa, there we have them. 3 Bitmap Books. So we have Art of the Box, we have the CRPG book, a guide to computer role-playing games, and then a mystery one. I wonder what this mystery one could be. Should we save that till last? Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do, which one we're going to go for next? I'll tell you what, we'll go for Art of the Box. Huge fan of box art, so it would be an opportune thing to kick off with. I think you've seen some of the Bitmap Books stuff before. I will link a few of the other videos as well, so you can have a look at some of the other reviews that we've done previously. And yeah, you can see what's all going on there. A nice little flyer there from the guys, and there it is. There's the packaging, comes all wrapped up. You may be familiar with this, but it's got all the foam edges on there. It's all wrapped up in the wrapping paper. It's like Christmas every day. And there it is. It's a beast, isn't it? The Art of the Box. That's really nice. And that's sealed, so there's no messing, no damage or anything. The Art of the Box is a celebration of video games box art from the formative years of Atari in the late 70s right up to the modern day, etc. Let's get into it, shall we? Right, let's get this open. So you might trying to get a little knife and just very carefully nick the corner when you're opening these, any book really. Don't try and bite at it, as I did. So what do we see? So it's a gloss finish, this book, and yeah, there's the thickness of it all. So page wise, it's coming in at, let's have a look, page numbers, 550 pages. Quite a beast, isn't it? Art of the Box. So it's kind of typographical cover. In the kind of got MS-DOS floppy disk, copy protected, 26 artist interviews, over 350 artworks. There's the spine, and let's have a little looky, shall we? This book is dedicated to artists who are no longer with us. Ollie Frey, can't pronounce that, I'm sorry, but yeah, very missed, these people. And Bob, I knew Bob fairly well, actually. Met Bob several times. Yeah, but it's a somber note, but it's lovely. He's done a dedication. Really nice, actually. Written by Steve Jarrett, image captions by Ryan Lambie, and designed by Sam Dyer. Cover by Ollie Frapp. Various artists, as you can see there. Some I know, some not so much, some not at all. But, go into that. So what I might do is bring the camera around. Oh, got a bit of a jogginess there. Bring the camera around so you get it as if, that's better. You want the shadow, or my foot, funnily enough, in the shot. So let's go through the the piece. That's a nice thing though, meet the artist. The evolution of box art. Wow, that's taking me back a few years. The Atari 2600 to the, well, I guess that would be Spectrum, yeah. Ultima. So a bit of an intro in the beginning, obviously, as to why and why it's so important. A piece by Steve Hendricks. Lovely full colour imagery. So this is kind of like, I suppose it's oversized A4 UK. It's kind of nice. It feels tall, this book, which is a bonus. There's a nice asteroids marquee there. Wow, that's really nice. The colours are really popping, by the way. So you can see. Sorry about the shadow. Trying to move the camera to get a bit of a bird's eye view. Really notice that Warlords imagery. So a lot of original illustrations from the early days, especially with Atari, I think. Even things like that, Othello, which, you know, fairly simple game, but looks really kind of creative and unique. Night Driver. So I'm not going to do every page, but just get into it. Well, this is like all the early Atari stuff. Haunted House, that really was quite a fantastic illustration. All original illustrations, obviously these were pencil sketches to the full colour treatment. Steeplechase. Wow, yeah, Stena Lund. They're really amazing. There's lots of, obviously, you know, there's some really interesting backdrops, text here. I'm just sort of picking up on it, about the early years of trade shows and Llamasoft and the companies that he worked with and the logos he created as well. I love all this corporate identity stuff. I've got background in graphic design myself in the 90s mainly, but yeah, it's really interesting to see. Wow, that is such a fantastic illustration. As soon as you see that, for me anyway, there's just instant recognition of The Last Ninja. It is superb, that the way that it's just all blacked out around the character's eyes. It's just amazing. Yeah, the cloth around the face and wisps of airbrushed grey all subtly suggest the fabric on the ninja's outfit. It's just brilliant, that. It's a beautiful poster, that. Yeah, some really, really gorgeous art here, I have to say. There's so much to it when you realise, you know, what the boxes did, what they gave you back then. It gave you that kind of journey into just, you know, anything really. Anything was possible when you saw this box art. I mean, obviously, I'm sure the book will... wow, just speechless when I see that. That's beautiful, isn't it? Return of a Jedi. Obviously, it is based on the movie poster. But, you know, a lot of the games are quite simplistic. Gallagher, simplistic in itself, but an amazing title. So, you know, especially when you got onto the consoles, the illustrations were not like today, where, if you like, they're perhaps more photorealistic gameplay. It was just so different, but the posters, they took you on that journey, if you like, of imagining that's the world that you could be in. And, you know, with these interviews as well, that Tetris poster's really sharp, isn't it? It's gorgeous. Right, so I've got to page 50. I'm not going to, what I've done before, if you look at the other reviews in the description, I've kind of flicked into the book because I don't want to completely show you every page. So I'm just going to move forward a little bit because that's a classic, that one, isn't it? Haunted Mansion, Ken Macklin. It really is. These are, you know, when you look at this, you kind of think, okay, this is like a cinema poster. This is kind of very much a collectible. It's a gorgeous piece in itself. And it's, you know, definitely a bit of an eye-opener if you're not familiar with some of the game art. I love game art. Just, it's part of the experience for me as a collector, as a player even, just having the box, getting the game out of the box. You know, just imagining that whole journey that you had, whether you're a kid or a teenager, and, you know, taking the game, looking at the game, admiring the game, and then playing the game, but having that box as well as part of your experience, really, not just a collection thing. Let's move forward a little bit. Ollie Frey, rest in peace, Ollie, and God bless you, really. So Ollie obviously had an amazing career in illustration, and it wasn't just, you know, computer games, various applications, really, but he's, for me, very much known for the news-filled years of Zap and Crash, and just some of the amazing front covers that he did for Crash. Particularly, I was more of a ZX Spectrum owner. I had friends who had Commodore, so I played kind of both. So yeah, he talks about his early beginnings, how he started, and what he moved into. I still own that original cover for the #1. That's a classic as well, which is the Zap 15. There's so many, to be honest, that you would probably need well, there are books. Again, as we're talking, I'll put various links into some of the other related stuff as well. But yeah, this is a nice dedication here. It's just stunning, isn't it? Right, again, not going to labour. I'm going to go to David Rowe, who I actually spent a bit of time with at London Play Expo. Get that right. I think that was in 2019, something like that. Maybe 18. Yep, I actually bought, not the original. I bought a very high quality print of this, had David sign it, and also Mike Montgomery from Bitmap Brothers was there. Weirdly, I was there early doors with Games You Loved, and got them both to sign this poster, and had a pic with Mike as well from Bitmap Brothers. So that there has a lot of personal kind of value, I suppose, really, to me, from a memory point of view. The fact that I actually spoke to David about it, the illustration, saw it. I also picked up because he drew for various, again, applications, a bit like Ollie. It wasn't just computer games. He did all the kind of creative concepts, a lot of the time storyboarding for Nightmare, which is a British TV show, and I bought a pencil sketch of a bomb room from him, which, you know, if you're not perhaps in the UK, maybe don't appreciate what that means, but it was a very sort of famous room in Nightmare, and David signed it, and I've still got that pencil sketch of the bomb room from Nightmare. But yeah, this is computer games. I could easily digress me. And yeah, some amazing covers, real sort of mix of stuff that he did, actually. I mentioned Nightmare there. Again, getting into Nightmare, which is great. So Populous, what a fantastic picture that is. Really amazing. Again, not going to spoil it. And it's some amazing stuff here. I'm going to go back to this book, obviously, and really get into the nuts of it. This is a first look, obviously. Bob as well, who's sadly not with us anymore. And he just did some, again, in the vein of all of these guys, you know, girls, whatever. It's kind of like, it's, you know, somebody where I've met them personally as well, which is great, had conversations. So it's a bit of a personality with Bob. I've met him not as many times as some folk, but the times I have, at the expos, really, had a, you know, really good kind of deep chat about his work, him as a person, and yeah, kind of value all that. Got a lot of signed stuff myself. I did some fantastic covers. I mean, look at Contra. It's just so much famous and well-known illustration. And he has a style, but it's very different as well. It's kind of got both work going on. He's just works of art, aren't they? They're just absolutely superb works of art. Could just look at this stuff all day. I'm going to skip through. Don't want to like miss people out, but some beautiful artwork there from Dennis Lubet. I mean, you can see the differences in style as well. This Ultima illustration is just so sort of surreal but exciting, isn't it? Some of this work. Tom Dubois. I don't know, I got the pronunciation correct, but I'll give it a go. Again, remember some of his Konami stuff. Look at this. Bayou Billy. But it's so, like, again, it's original. You know, there's a lot going on in that kind of illustration. You got your alligator or crocodile. You've got this sort of almost like the Wild West bar, the Jeep. God knows what's going on in the background. Turtles in Time. That's what I know him for, really. So, yeah, kind of got the Statue of Liberty, the Foot Clan, riding a T-Rex. There's just so much going on. So much amazing stuff going on. It's superb. This is going to be a long video, I think, because I'm only on book number 1. I'm halfway through it, but I'm going to continue a bit more. I mean, look, it's just, yeah, it's one after the other, really. Let's just skip through a little bit. Don't go to flick through to the end. I'm not that familiar so much personally with Junior Tomlin, but let's have a look respectfully. Raider, Renaissance. Yeah, these aren't games I'm not familiar with, but again, these are the thing about these books. It gives you the opportunity to get into things. Silkworm, I do know, but yeah, that you might not have heard of previously. Dermot Power, Wonderland, Judge Dredd. That's a lovely photo. Well, I was going to say photograph, illustration. All this illustration work that you see here, it's just amazing. You don't get as much of this around, perhaps, as you used to. I used to work with a lot of illustrators in design, and yeah, it's a whole process. This is the end thing, but it's such a creative part of video games development, really, in terms of the artwork. Yeah, beautiful stuff here. Look at this. Yeah, it really is a fantastic book, this, if you love art. I actually thought that it would be on, it's called Art of the Box, on the boxes, but the fact they've lifted the art from that and had it in full colour print, really like that idea, actually. I know that Bitmap Books have done stuff with box, actually showing the boxes, which I like, I love that, but this is just a nice take on it as well, to see it in its truest form, I guess. Oh, that is such a beautiful shot, isn't it? With Alien Storm there. I love Alien Storm. There's for the Japanese cover art as well. That's a really good one. Yes. Ooh, it's so nice. Rolling Thunder 2. Probably not, the game of the year, but very cool artwork. Again, there's lots going on here, isn't there? Move forward a bit, skip around, moving to maybe something I know. Obviously Earthworm Jim we know. Forgive the pronunciations, but Michael Kolesh, I think it is. Yeah, again, can't pronounce it, but very famous for the Earthworm Jim illustrations. Yeah, these are beautiful, aren't they? Samurai Showdown, Shinkiro. Yeah, Fatal Fury, I think I'm familiar with, actually, on that front. Thank you, Julie Bell. Some gorgeous, almost like, sorry about the phone, get a bit of a shadow there. Fighting fantasy or Dungeons and Dragons, very kind of, wow, beautiful artwork there. King of Dragons. Nearly at the end with the flickety flicks. So I hope you've enjoyed this sort of little show through. This is Dadu Torre. You can see all the differences in styles as well, which is really important. Charles Bay, some more modern stuff here. Cool, they've got some modern stuff, and they've got not little, it's a game index at the back, which is kind of like a contents, but at the back but in a visual style. It's a really nice idea, actually. So you get to the back and you kind of then, you know, NBA Jam, sort of missed that, or want to go back to look at that. So yeah, and then you've got all the, I guess it's some sort of bibliography, is it? Contents. What have we got here at the back? Image credits at the back. And that about wraps it up for that book. So nice silverish. The Art of the Box. The Art of the Box. Very nice book. But we have another book. So let's just get the camera, put it on its little standaroo, and off we go again. So I say we've got this special one here. Well, not special, they're all special, but mystery at the end. Mystery at the end, right? So I am opening this, I'm getting the same experience that you are opening these. Apart from I'm opening them, you're watching, but you know what I mean. It's a reaction, first look, because I have not seen these before, believe it or not. Put the packaging over here. Again, sorry it's a bit of a rinse and repeat, but just showing you they do this all the time in terms of this nice packaging. And so this is, as I say, the CRPG book. What a lovely cover. So, you know, very distinct difference with the Art of the Box, typographical, much more illustrative. So this is role playing, so it's very much a fantasy style cover. Just put back a bit. Oh, look at that. There you go. You have a nice look. I'm just going to take the cellophane off. All right. I love that. I just love that feeling, you know, let you experience it with me when you're taking the film off something brand new. This is a beast. A beast in every way. How many pages is this one? Let's have a look. Don't want to mess it up. Page numbers. What page numbers this book? Oh yeah, I can see it down there. So it's a 550 plus book. Wow, it's a beast. Very nice full block in there. Again on the cover. So let's have a little. Always go to the back of the book, so it gives you that nice synopsis. A genre that can chart its origins right back to the very dawn of interactive entertainment industry. Humble role-playing adventure is arguably one of the most influential, most played game types from 75 to 2019. It's quite a period, isn't it? So let's have a look, shall we? I always do that. And I like the idea of something, I kind of got a tactile feel about it. Again, nice cover, really like that illustration. And you've got all different characters just jumping out of the screen there. Just hold that up. Can you see that? Look at that shimmer. Let's get into it. All right, so I'm not going to move the camera again like we did before. But the shadow, hopefully. Okay. Also without messing up the pages. Different contents. What I like about these are a bit of variation, but also consistency as well. So it's a big beast, consistency, but the content's a little bit more role-playing, a bit more kind of like you'd open a Dungeon Master manual or something. Like the typeface as well, if you're into that kind of thing. An intro here. It is a project. It looks like a project. There's so many contributors to it. The whole list of names here. Interesting. So is it going to be like interviews? Yeah, so it's a different format, this one, by the looks of it. So rather than just a straight kind of game review, that type of thing, looks like this kind of format. So that you need the piece at the front, which shows you all the names of the contributors, and there's a little shortened version of them, so you can see. That's really gorgeous, isn't it? Oh, it's really taking me back now, because I started off, you know, probably like a lot of people, or maybe not. Some people don't like role playing. I love them, and Dungeons and Dragons, that whole world, with Games Workshop in the early years, and Warhammer, and etc. etc. So it's a bit like a role playing manual. This it's kind of cool, isn't it? Always an old school RPG. Talking about porting, Defender of the Crown, look how many different versions that had and how they look different. So the Amiga probably set the scene, right down to the NES version, Mac, Commodore 64. I don't think there was a Spectrum version. I could be wrong there, but there was a Commodore 64, that's for sure. And again, similar here for Eye of the Beholder, is the VGA versus the CGA. Yeah, so the whole port, it's good that they've got into the porting side. Bard's Tale, wow, I haven't played that for a while. Talking about cartography, maps, very much part of the whole world. It's nice. Again, I guess some articles, interviews here. Really early day stuff, really fantastic. I love this. It's going back to when I guess I started, showing my age now, coming up to 50 years old, and what we played back in the very early days. Wow, yeah, it's just text-based adventures, really. Simple imagery, if you had it. Obviously text, you didn't. MS-DOS style, wizardry. I mean, these are games that I'm probably going to go and discover now. Some, you know, you're going to have Ultima and King's Quest and that sort of thing, but yeah, wow, these are really old games. Quite amazing. Nice to see they've covered this right back to 1982. In fact, there was ones before. Tunnels of Doom, look at that. Really retro. God, these are games I've never even heard of. Return of Hercules, fantastic title. As a review of the game, I guess its origins. Now this is probably when I started getting into it a bit more. Let's move the camera around there. Ultima 3, Origin Systems, and that's Richard Garriott. Richard actually does follow me on Twitter, of all things. Amazing. It's great, isn't it, when you get these, I guess they're icons you can engage with now in this day and age. Before, they were just in their massive castles making games. They weren't, but that's how I like to imagine them. Yeah, wow, this is early day stuff. Bard's, as soon as I saw that, I knew that was Bard's Tale. Just that, even just the corner of my eye. Spent many a time playing this. It really does, it brings back that whole sort of piece in my life in the 80s, where many a Sunday afternoon would be playing Bard's Tale or Ultima. So yeah, it's really nice to hark back to those days. Moving a little bit, we're going to skip through because we don't want to like spend and show you all pieces of these books. It's a taster, really. Quest for Glory, so kind of King's Questy sort of days. What year are we into now? Probably a bit later in the 80s, I guess. Knights of Legend. These are some of these games I haven't heard of, which is fantastic. So that was 80s actually. So that's late 80s into 90s now. And obviously technology moved forward. We had the Super Nintendo, obviously moving into the PlayStation, Saturn, obviously Windows developing, lots of evolution, if you like. More Ultima, but much more complex, with more complex gameplay, illustration. So it's interesting to see how that's developed over the years. I think I've played that, the Tolkien Lord of the Rings RPG. Gates of Dawn. They had a Dungeon Master. It was very much like Dungeon Master, that to me, actually. Moffat's, wow, never heard of that game. There's so much stuff here I need to look up. Cobra Mission. Panic in Cobra City. Yeah, fantastic. Look at that artwork, so good. Oh, that looks quite nice. Ishar. A lot of it had a similar sort of feel to it, didn't it? And I suppose it does. It follows a style established by one and then copied by many. We're into Ultimate 8 now. We're really moving forward. Right, we're going to skip ahead a bit. Let's try and find something familiar with. System Shock 2. Look at that. It's a very iconic style illustration. And just think this book, is it as big as the other one? I'm just going to... Where is the other book? Yeah, no, I think it's a little... it's a little bit smaller than the Art of the Box book, probably. But lots of lovely illustrations, screenshots. Yeah, I'm liking this. It's a very different take to the Art of the Box. That was much more visual. This is a good game. Played this a lot. Yeah, really getting into more complex stuff now. Dragon Age. Funny actually, I thought when we get into Dragon Age Origins, and really then moving forward into kind of more modern day, 2010. It's nice it's moved forward because RPGs are very much part of our world, really. Deus Ex, Dark Souls, obviously. I knew that was going to be there. So this is 2011. God, amazing, really. Mass Effect. Yeah. As I say, this is a first look rather than a, every page, not to spoil it as well. And some really interesting games, especially at the beginning as well. Fallout, yeah, bit of a classic. Fallout 4. So I'm very impressed by this book. I think it's a book, in terms of the first look, I'm not going to read it out to you, but there's a lot of copy in the book, balanced with the imagery to get into. Talks even there about RPG Maker, International. There's some nice artwork as well. See here, yeah, it's one to delve into in a big way. Games we never play. There's a lot to this book. It looks like a massive project. Sort of references there, glossary. So it's a piece of art as well as a piece of content. A lot of content to cover off. It's a very different book. It's a real library piece, this. I mean that in a positive way, that there's so much to explore, as you kind of expect in an RPG, really. So that's the CRPG book, Guide for Computer Role-Playing Games. And that's book number 2. So should we get into the final, book number 3? It's just, it's all very freestyle, isn't it? You know me. You've been on this channel, or if you just joined us, this is how we roll. Just, what's it going to be? Excited. Here we have. Taking it off. Won't do a countdown. Let's just get into it. Christmas morning. Lights to unwrap, and we have got, yeah, it's a PC Engine. I've got a few PC Engine games conveniently lined up. Just to put there, shall we? As we, some of them might be in there, you never know. So what have I got? Just for you, I've got Shinobi, Vigilante, R-Type, Power Drift, Gradius, Operation Wolf. What else? We've got Space Harrier and Dragon Spirit. I expect some of those might be in here. Right, should we get this bad boy open? Let's just move it to one side. Let's put the games just there in the background. Just like that. Right. I love this bit. It's the opening bit. Opening the seal carefully. So not to stick the knife right through the front cover, which is what we don't want. Oh, reflection of my head there. All very professional. Very nice. Has a similar feel to the Game Boy book, if you've seen or got that. In a good way. It's nice, almost like, it's not the compendium series as such, but nice series effects. PC Engine. The box art collection. So it's got this nice silver, and I like, is this like a, yeah, like a red foil block? Take my shadow out of there. That's really nice, actually. Just simple sometimes. Design doesn't have to be overtaking. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's a, you know, it's a mix, isn't it? Right, so we're gonna come up with the let's get that like that's it, like there. Okay, I expect this is about 450, 400, yeah, about 400, just creeping up. That's nice. So it's red, very much so. Yeah, it really is red. We've got forward by Paul Weller, who is not the singer of The Jam, you'll be pleased to know. Well, no, actually, Paul Weller I saw at Play Expo London, weirdly, so it might have been, but no, this is Paul Weller, founder of the PC Engine Software Bible, and he's done the forward on this book, and talks about, obviously, yeah, how much a big deal it was in Japan, how he's owned them himself, the kind of relationship, I guess, with other consoles of the time, what was going on with computers, perhaps. So yeah, nice little forward there, illustration, bit of history. It's all good to know. Hue cards, they are absolutely, apart from mini discs, I don't know why, but I've got some mini discs with me actually. But apart from the mini disc, which I'm trying to grab as I'm trying to film, which is ridiculous. Just get one. There it is. Well, that's not as. Let's get a see-through one. Look at that. Oh. Do like a mini disc, me. But you can't beat one of these, really. Oh, look, I've got Gradius. Look at that. I'm going to get the real deal. Hang on a minute. There it is. Oh. But yeah, oh, that is an amazing bit of kind of media, isn't it? When you think about it. It's got the most gorgeous tactile feel about it. I have to say, the artwork as well. I mean, this is an old game, but just look, that looks brand new, doesn't it? As is that. It's great to see that. They've really, you know, done a great job. Obviously, you know, original photography. It makes a big difference having original photography in these books, and not only the, you know, the originality of it, but just how it sings off the page. So there's a few different variations of the old PC Engine. Where have I got mine? Hang on a minute. I've got a few bits and bobs. I've got a. Sorry about the dust. I need to plug this one in. It's my Duo. A bit of dust on it. Sorry about that. Let's just wipe that off. So that plays CDs and hue cards. And put that back. And then I've got Old Faithful, which is my original kind of PC Engine, really. Yeah, with Street Fighter 2 in it, of all things. Okay, right, moving forward. Ah, look, Street Fighter 2, there you go. So yeah, it talks about the hardware, collector interview. He's got a complete hue card collection. I had a lot of PC Engine games, but I had to move them on. I've got a few, but I had a fair few, hundreds. CD and hue cards as well. Mainly CDs, actually, weirdly. Right, let's get into it all. Oh, so good. So, well, I'll show it in a minute when we get to one that's actually Afterburner 2. I'd like to own that, actually, on a PC Engine. That'd be a good one. I mean, obviously, I've got it in, like, I don't know, 20 different versions. From Spectrum through to, well, Sega Ages is a good version. But, yeah, just from the art point of view. It's going to flick until I arrive on something that I want to talk about. Well, I like all of these. Lovely variation. I mean, some of these games I don't own. Doesn't mean I don't want to talk about them. I did not know there was a Sailor Moon game, actually. I do now. Bomberman, that's somewhere. I think that's in the other stack. That's a lovely bit of art, isn't it? Bonanza Bros. Great arcade game, that. Really, really, yeah, unless I'm completely wrong, played that in the arcade. Age does creep up on you. Kadash, look at some of this. Oh, it's so good. Isn't it amazing? Right, so the repro you can see here is just superb. There's the original, there's that. It just pops. And I do keep my games, should say, in good condition. Just put them carefully like that. But yeah, it is popping. That art is amazing. Columns, simple game, fantastic cover. Isn't that great? Look at that. Wow. Oh, it's just so many good PC Engine games, aren't there? My God, it makes me want to collect stuff. It's so nice. It really is. Yeah, might have to get my list ready when I go to some few markets coming up. I don't know. I've got quite a few games of PC Engine, to be fair. So, yeah, it's just, I want to get FOMO. But yeah, some really amazing games. All right, let's talk about the games a bit more. I'm just flicking at the art. But yeah, this is a shooter called Deep Blue. Interesting, looks really cool actually. Bit like, unlike Darius, but you're in like aquatic life. That's quite interesting, isn't it? Just to think about PC Engine, some real variations of games, some real differences between them. There's nothing really the same. There obviously are things like no, I'm thinking about Super Famicom, but there are like wrestling games, quite a few maybe. Boxing, karate, Digital Champ, Karate Champ. These are some of these games I haven't played. Like, this is really interesting. I love that. Dragon Saber, I've got that. It's good shoot 'em up. So yeah, it's kind of like Dragon Spirit. Yeah, it's a sequel. There it is. Right, so Dragon Spirit. Ready for this? They have got it absolutely bang on. I love that. You know, it's attention to detail, isn't it? So basically, there's the real deal. There's that. So it's really nice that they've, you know, they could have done it at, I don't know, 3/4, half, but the fact they've done it the same, if you own it, there's a real connection there. And again, you know, this is not like artwork. They've shot the photo of it, and it looks really, really nice, doesn't it? Just wanted to show you that. Great game, fantastic shooter, real, just mind-blowing stuff for the year it was, 88. Again, like with the other reviews, don't want to show you every single thing. But yeah, some fantastic games. Got 5 Pro on the PC Engine. It really was so ahead of its time. The sounds are amazing. Gradius is a great, great game on the PC Engine. It's a great game generally anyway, just to be fair, even on some other formats, it's a bit more rudimentary, but on the PC Engine, it just shouts from the screen, really. Altered Beast, I have got that somewhere. So I've got a few in various places. Obviously more known on the Mega Drive. Loom, it's a point and click. Bit of a famous one. Just flick through a bit here. Motorola, don't know that one. Yeah, looks all right. What else is flicking through? Pac-Land, got that. Love that game. It's a really fun game, certainly in the arcade. Just a jolly little game. Got into it a bit more, sort of used to die quite early, but you don't get too carried away with the music. It's just a bit crazy. It's a bit like Paperboy. I think Paperboy I've got, you know, more into because I used to just like crashing and throwing papers at things. Same with Pac-Land. I think if you focus on it, it's a really good game to get into and possibly even complete. A lot of baseball games kicking around for PC Engine. Yeah, Salamander, brilliant game. Just an amazing scrolling shooter. And again, similar to Gradius, but not. Just flicking through again. Splatterhouse, quite rare, I think that game is. Again, beautiful cover, beautiful looking game. 1990. Again, Chase HQ, I really want to own that. I don't have that actually. Quite unusual cover art as well on the PC Engine. But fantastic arcade game. Good at flicky flick. Kung Fu, got that. It's like a kind of Street Fighter Kung Fu. New Zealand Story, the nice port as well. So many great games, isn't there? PC Engine. That's some real fabulous games. There it is. I was waiting for it. Vigilante. Let's just... Sorry. Mine's got a little crack on the screen, but... There you go. Scary old cover. But it's a great game. And that, I think, is where we're going to get Xevious. It's a decent port, that is. I've played that. I've got the loose copy. I need to get the actual dual case. And that is the end. But Zero Wing's a good one to sort of end on. Brilliant shooter. Yeah, it's toe plan, Zero Wing. Thanks. All your bases belong to us. Yep. Don't know how this holds up against other versions. I have played that. Don't own it at the moment. And there's the index. So that's it. Fantastic. The third book in Bitmap Books box art collection, this is. Super Famicom and Game Boy. And it's the third book of this review and the final book of this review, which I've just really enjoyed taking this time out to have a look at all these amazing books by Bitmap Books. You can obviously check them out. Put that on there online, and there's a link in the description only. And yeah, there's these and there's other stuff that they do if you haven't seen them before. Hope you enjoyed this unboxing, and it certainly was. There's 3 boxes to unbox, and we've got some more stuff coming up actually, so I hope you have some more time. Might even try and get some guest stuff done, even interviews. Got some ideas, maybe for next year, but we'll see how it goes with Christmas coming up. If you've stayed this long, thanks for staying right to the end, and I will see you on the next one.